So Susan needs to get a gun.
I'm going dancing tonight, so that will be fun for me.
Hey, you can dance with the pistol. That's fine. You can get one of those small ones, right?
Oh, ones, yeah.
You got those small ones. I have one of those Ruger LCP, one of the small ones like that. Just put it, you can just put it in the pocket and that's it. Nobody will know. Nobody will notice. I mean, it's not really a gun, but it's just in case. I mean, you don't want to be carrying something bulky. You just put it in your pocket or something like that, or in the back, and you're good to go. All right. So you're dancing. So where are you going to dance today? Where are you going?
There's this place in Mesa. They are holding Latin night every Friday now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's really cool because it's all these restaurants, and then they share this big open patio, and they have a big fire pit, so you can sit around the fire pit and dance.
Oh wow.
It's really nice.
And you're going with your friends?
Yes. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. That's awesome. All right, Joshua, good morning. Samantha, good morning. Great to see you. Welcome back. All right, we got Ricardo. Ricardo, what's going on with your camera, buddy?
I'm driving right now, so
Oh, you're driving. That's fine. If you're driving, that's perfectly fine. We don't want to have camera. Angela, good morning.
Good morning.
And Alberto. I'm assuming Alberto is also driving, right?
Yeah. Good morning, Ali. Good morning, team. Yeah, I am driving. I'm on the freeway right now, actually.
That's fine. Well, be careful, right? Be careful. Okay. Parker, he is not going to be able to make it today, unfortunately. Hopefully, he's doing better. Okay, so let's begin, guys. Did anyone here had a chance to review the VIP buyer presentation that I shared with you on Wednesday?
I took a look at it, and I did have a question, but let me pull it up.
Anyone else? I know Kelly looked at it many times. I know Susan was like studying it for like an hour and a half to 2 hours between the dance lessons. Ricardo, I'm not sure if Ricardo got it. Ricardo, did you get it by any chance?
Yeah, I got it last night. For some reason, I was disconnected by on Slack. Something happened with my account that I was not able to get into it, and I barely got it last night.
I know. Alberto emailed me last night saying, "Hey, Ricardo, for some reason got booted from the account," and I said, "I don't know. That's yeah." So we'll put you back in the account. We added you back.
I'm back, and I have it, but I don't have it.
Okay, so do you have access to it?
Yes, I do.
All right, awesome. All right, how about you, Samantha? I know you were not with us on Wednesday.
I did. I saw it. I actually have it pulled up right now on my phone.
Okay, great. So let's start with you then. Did you just see it right now, or you saw it Wednesday?
I just saw it right now.
Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, so I guess we're not going to be role playing today, right? Anybody here wants to role play the PowerPoint slides? No. Nobody wants to raise their hand?
Alan, I was wondering about how we would help them with the auction homes.
Auction homes?
Yeah. I'm trying to find the part where it says that, like.
There's a part that says foreclosures and bank-owned properties. So foreclosures or bank-owned properties are also considered to be auction homes. And you can elaborate on that when you have that conversation with them.
Yeah, I don't think I personally know how to represent them through that process. So how would
Oh,
How
representing.
would we
Well,
represent
it's
them?
not really a representation. Like the way that the auction homes work is they will give you a fee to go there so you can bid on their behalf. But there's no real representation there, to be honest with you. So like to my knowledge, I worked with a couple of agents in the past that used to just go there every single day, 4 days, 5 times a day. And their fee was $500. That was their fee. And they would just bid on their investors' behalf, on their clients' behalf, and they would get $500 for bidding, for being there. And that also includes them doing some initial research, running some comps. Investor would give them maybe like about 5 to 10 properties to look at. They will do their analysis, they will do their homework, and then they would go there and bid on those properties. And if they get that property and everything like that, the investor will pay them a fee.
Okay,
As
I have
far as
no idea.
well, no idea as far as what.
I just thought that the auction homes were cash, and I just tell people they can go down to the auction steps and buy it themselves. But a lot of times they're like, "Oh, I don't have that. I need financing."
Oh no. So the way the auction homes work, I don't know if you guys aware of it. So anyone can go and bid. Anyone. You don't need to have a license. You don't have to be a real estate agent. Here's what they require. They require $10,000 deposit, which is, by the way, not refundable. And then usually within 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours, usually it's within 48 hours, you got to come up with the rest, cash. Financing organizations, they're not going to do it. I got a couple of hard money companies. They're not going to do it. I mean, for them, they need at least 4 to 5 days. But you got to come up with the rest of the cash usually within 2 days. So it's a cash transaction. Now, just to kind of give you an idea, because of the forbearance and because of, not a lot of banks are foreclosing, the number of foreclosures on the court footsteps are much lower, but you still can see anywhere between 80 to 100 foreclosures. I think it's a week, every week right now. And the main one will be Tiffany and Bosco. You can go on their website, Tiffany and Bosco, and you can get the information on all the properties that are coming to auction site.
Properties will go for less or more than market value.
Yeah, I mean, typically they will go for less. They will go for less. But then again, we guys have to take into consideration that the way the market is right now, investors are going to be overbidding on those properties as well, right? So it's primarily for an investor. I mean, if you're a buyer and you're a first-time buyer or just buyer that buying with the conventional VA, FHA, USDA, that's just not going to work for them, unless the property was not auctioned off. It went back to the bank, and then bank, will put it back on the market. And that's when you can go in and show it to your buyer. But it's one of those things where even right now, I mean, actually we had that conversation with one of my agents a couple of days ago, and we wanted to go out there and see what's going on and just kind of, fill it out and see if we can even buy something. But my hunch tells me it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy everywhere. I scheduled a showing for this afternoon for my client. And this is just to kind of give you an idea, this is a 2,100 square foot house, 2,200 square foot house in Scottsdale. The major roads are Frank Lloyd Boulevard and 90th Street. Really nicely done inside, updated. A lot of things were updated a couple of years ago. Again, 2,200 square foot house. listed for 715. 715. And I spoke to the agent this morning, and again, it's been in the market for less than 24 hours. They already have 2 offers above, well above the asking price. And they're expecting 5 more this morning. And this is a $715,000 house. So, I mean, the market is unbelievably crazy. I mean, you're talking about, like, when we're sitting down with our buyers right now, and I know it's hard for some of them because they don't have enough money, but we have to set the expectations when we're sitting down with them that they have to be prepared to pay above the asking price. Above the asking price. I also believe now is the time, and usually I was not a big fan of it in the past because the market was much more balanced. But I believe right now, if you're going to be working with a buyer and you feel like that buyer in that price range where you're going to be showing quite a bit of homes, you're going to be writing a lot of offers, I suggest you guys protect yourself by having them sign buyer broker exclusive agreement. Buyer broker exclusive agreement. Because I'm hearing this from some of our agents. I'm hearing this from the agents that I'm talking to right now, meeting with. Buyers are so desperate right now. They're so mission critical right now where, you know, if they see something and it's a good fit for them and there's an agent there, it's a listing agent, whatever, other agent, they just go after it. Like they go after it. They don't care about their agent anymore.
Do you still feel the same way about pressing charges for a violation of that contract?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the only, like contracts have teeth, right? So like listing agreement, there is a reason we have a listing. So it's a binding agreement. So that means that both parties agree to it. The same goes with the purchase contracts, right? The same goes with the addendums, and the same goes with a buyer broker exclusive. It's a binding agreement. So yeah, absolutely, we can go after them. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, would you still? I remember we had a conversation.
Would we go about? It really depends. I mean, it really depends. Like, from my experience, just talking to the brokers and designated brokers, they don't want to deal with it. But ultimately, it's going to be up to the agent. Like, if agent wants to go after them, we go after them. We go after them. You know, but this is what's happening. And then you have these companies like, I think I saw it somewhere on Facebook yesterday. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. Redfin. Are you familiar, guys, with Redfin?
Yeah.
Like right now, you go on their website, and you know it actually asks you, "Hey, are you currently interested in working with one of our agents? Yes or no?" And if you work with one of our agents, we can show you the houses pretty much any time of the week, blah, blah, blah. But also in addition to it, we will offer you, I think, up to like $3,400 or $3,500 towards your closing costs. So they're buying buyers' business by saying, hey, if you go with one of our agents, we'll pay you $3,000 or $3,200, $3,300. Now, they also want to make sure that the buyer then signs the buyer broker exclusive, right? So this is something that you guys got to be able to do. And if you're not comfortable, at least initially, asking for that, but when you're submitting offers, you definitely want to incorporate that in your forms, buyer broker exclusive agreement.
The buyer broker exclusive agreements, they have a duration listed on the contract, right?
Still on 1 year.
Okay, so you don't have to write one for every contract, so it's more like every year you work with a client?
Yeah, it gives a duration. It gives you also an option for a specific property, but do a duration for 1 year Okay, or half a year. If you feel like you can find him something in the next 2 to 3 months, do a
Yeah.
half year. If you think
Okay.
it's gonna take a long time to find him something, then do a year or so, right? But that's something, again, like I said, I'm not, I never really done it myself because, again, we're in a completely different market. But right now, like if you're working with a buyer, and yeah, that buyer's got a great relationship with you, and you got a great relationship with that buyer, but at the end of the day, it's a business relationship. And if they see a house, like I think, was it you, Kelly? We had that conversation a couple of months back where you were working with some folks, and I know you showed quite a bit of homes, and
Right.
I think they were from California, right? Were they from California or
There
no?
was, the woman was from California. The man lived here, but
Right.
showed him quite a few homes in a lot of different areas. We wrote a few offers, and I took him to view a home in Litchfield Park, and like down the street there was a for sale by owner, and they went for it, and they bought that house.
Yep. Yep.
And they wanted me, so they wanted me to do some really kind of sketchy stuff, and I was like, and I ran it by you and David, and I was like, I can't do that, because they wanted me to be involved but not tell the other person, like the seller, that I was involved. And I said, I can't do that. I can't do secretive stuff like that. I could lose my license.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But
so
yeah. So what you got to do, guys, again, keep in mind, right? So it's not other agents that you have to worry about, right? But you also have to take into the consideration for sell by owners. Okay. You also have to take into the consideration new home builders. Okay. So home builders are much stricter right now with their guidelines and their requirements than they were 6 months ago or a year ago. So your job is to make sure when you meet with them, when you have a conversation with them, when you show them a house or two, right? Part of the consultation process. Okay, you got to educate them. Hey, you know what? You're going to come across some properties that are for sale by owner properties. You're going to be in the area, in the neighborhood that you're going to be driving. You're going to see some new home builds, right? Make sure you mention my name. Make sure you add my name and my brokerage name in a registration form. Make sure you always give them a stack of cards, so this way they can hand that card to the sales rep at the builder site. Now, with the for sale by owners, the way I would approach the situation, I say, look, just wanted to let you know, most of our sales will pay me the commission, so you don't have to pay me out of your pocket. But there may be some cases where we have to maybe, where you have to maybe pay us some sort of like a transaction or an admin fee or whatever like that. Because for sale by owners also, they may not pay full 3%, they may pay 2.5%, or maybe even 2%. I had a conversation with one of my agents yesterday, and she's like, well, Alan, I got a client of mine, a buyer, he really likes this for sale by owner property. What do I do? I said, well, talk to the for sale by owner, see if they can sign the unrepresented form, unrepresented seller form. Okay, and in that form, you're going to be able to see there's a section there where you can put in the commission that they owe you if you bring them a buyer. So she did, and the guy said, you know what, I'm willing to pay 2% commission.
It's not bad.
So 2% commission, and now I was like, well, what about maybe having your buyers pay for it? It's like, well, Alan, I was thinking about it, but they're also going to be listing a house with me, so I'm not going to ask them for any fee, because you can ask. I mean, you can ask the buyer to. What's up, Ben? Did you go to the pool? Do you want to? You want in the pool? You want in the pool? Here he is. Look at this guy. Hey, I'm busy. Leave me alone. Guy. All right, so you're wet. Come on.
Love me.
Where is it? Right there.
It's like my mom trying to get in your lap.
Oh my God. This guy, like, he can jump in the pool and it's freezing outside and he just goes in and he does laps and everything like that. So yeah, so you can be creative with your commissions and say, look, our broker transaction fee is $9.95. That's taking the money from that's getting a fee from the buyer, in addition to what the for sale by owner will charge.
That's a good question too. So, as an agent, what does a brokerage say is a minimum requirement for a commission? So you said $9.95. If they're really,
it's not a commission,
bugging,
it's a transaction fee or brokerage fee, right? I mean, you can name it as a
Right.
transaction fee. I usually call it a transaction fee, but as far as what brokerage mandates or requires, funny thing is there are some brokerages that actually will require a certain, like, a percentage amount.
Yeah.
There are some brokerages that will say you cannot go low or below this amount, right? The percentage. We don't require that. We don't mandate that part of it,
okay.
right? But again, it's got to be reasonable, right? You cannot go there and start offering $1 listing fees or whatever it is. I mean, it's like you got to make some money, right? We got to make some money. So yeah, but again, going back to it, and I know we're kind of, took our attention from the PowerPoint slide, but that's something that I want to kind of share with you is the fact that, you're working with the buyers, and I know, like, for example, Faye, she had 2 buyers yesterday that she had great conversations with. I know Kelly's working with the buyers. Susan is working with the buyers. Like, you guys are definitely. I know Ricardo is working with a buyer right now, and there's a situation there as well. Speaking of Ricardo, were you able to get any info from your buyer about what he signed with the other agent, or no?
No, I supposed to call him today after work. I think he gets out of work at 3:30.
Okay.
So I'll have a conversation with him like around 4:30, probably 5 o'clock. And yeah, I'll try to get more information about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's yeah, again, his situation, he's buyer, he's not happy with the realtor that he's using. He's not responding. So, he wants to make a switch, but again, he doesn't remember what he signed. So hopefully we can get to the bottom of it and see exactly what he signed. But yeah, Alberto, do you want to add anything to our discussion, to our conversation?
Yeah, so I mean, definitely with this last topic here about buyer representation, I've had I have some buyers right now. That's where I'm at right now. I'm waiting to meet them here at our first showing this morning. But I've worked with them in the past when COVID first started up, so they had to take a quick little 1-year break. We're ready to start looking. So I know I have their trust. I built rapport with them. There's a relationship there. It's established. But I mean, even then, I spoke with them yesterday. We had submitted, I think right now we've submitted a total of about 3, maybe 4 offers. We've only been looking for a few days. We got our pre-qualification last week in hand. But we've made a couple of offers. Obviously, they've been rejected, backup offers. We had one where they just took it off the market because someone got sick. But that conversation did come up with one of the sellers is, hey, is it just us? Are we having bad luck? Should we try looking around? It almost kind of seemed like she wasn't convinced, that I was either sending her everything or that I was doing my best. And I told her, look, no, it's just, again, that's what was so important about the topic we were supposed to talk about today, the buyer's consultation. This really sets up the expectation of what the market's going to look like once we hit the ground running, for our buyers at least. Obviously that's a very different conversation for the sellers, but for our buyers, we need to set that expectation and let them know, because obviously she had her doubts as well. We touched all those bases, but again, that just kind of speaks volumes to where our buyers are as far as their mind frame, as far as what they're seeing. Homes are going under contract before we even get our showings confirmed.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was literally on my way to a showing, a 40-minute drive. I'm 15 minutes away. Agent calls me, "Hey, we're under contract."
Yeah.
Cancels the showing. Same thing for my buyers. That makes me look unprofessional to my buyers, and obviously I scheduled this the night before. But again, that's just the way the market is. Even if we plan, we prepare, things are going to happen. Our buyers are going to, maybe start to doubt, maybe start to get a little desperate. We might lose a couple of offers. So, to Alan's point, before we again, me either, I didn't really require buyer broker exclusive forms, but after that conversation, after seeing that doubt, specifically in that client that I know I have their trust, I know I have that relationship with them, that makes me feel like, oh, well, crap. Well, maybe these other buyers that I don't have that trust relationship are thinking the same way. So definitely, if you guys can implement that exclusive form, do it. Definitely review that buyer's guide that Alan said. If you guys didn't get a chance to really go through it today, let's go through it this weekend, because it really does set up what to expect, as we start buying. Because you guys know it's crazy out there for our buyers. Unfortunately, it's awesome for sellers, but it's crazy for our buyers right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, we lead with value proposition, right? So that buyer's guy right there will show them, hey, I'm not a typical real estate agent, right? I also believe, and this is not like to discourage you guys, right? And this is like, we're having a real conversation about this, right? It's not peaches and roses everywhere right now. I mean, the market is tough, it's a struggle. But on a bright side, right? Every offer that you're writing, every conversation that you're having with the listing agent, conversations that you're having with the buyers, all of those things are good for you because it's making you a better agent. It's making you a better agent, right? You trying to figure out how to get this deal accepted. You're trying to figure out, how to package it. You're trying to convince the listing agent. You're trying to convince the buyer's agent, right? It's making you better as an agent, as a professional. And guess what will happen eventually? The market will change. It will shift. Nothing lasts forever. There's going to be a time when, it's going to become more of a balanced market, and then maybe possibly even a buyer's market. But the skills that you have accumulated during this period of time, the fact that you guys are not giving up, and in fact, you should double down. And what I mean by that is, if you're working with 2 buyers right now, work with 4 buyers, knowing the fact that there's a chance that 2 other ones are not going to be able to get into the house. There are a lot of buyers out there, and a lot of them are motivated. So finding a buyer is not really an issue, right? Finding a house is an issue. But that means you got to work with more buyers, because there's going to be a chance that some of them are just not going to get into the house. Some of them are just not going to be able to go through that process and will raise a white flag and decide to continue to rent. But this is making you guys better as agents, better. There are going to be agents out there that are giving up. In fact, I spoke to a couple of agents that I initially spoke to about a year ago, and they're no longer in business. Like 2 agents I spoke to yesterday, they're no longer in business. They're kind of doing it on the side. One of them has an inactive license, another one's like, yeah, I got a full-time job. I don't have the time for it. So that's going to discourage a lot of agents, but it should not discourage you.
Can I ask you a question, Alan?
Yes.
So I work for a water well business as well as doing real estate. And we work with a lot of people that have well inspections for real estate agents. And so they do call us. And the other day I actually received a call, and she was unhappy with her agent. And she was telling me this while working my other job. So where do I lie? Is it a conflict of interest to sell myself when I'm working for my other company as a real estate agent and say, hey, I'm a real estate agent, I would love to help you out?
Well, that's going to be between you and the company that you're working for right now.
Yeah.
So that's something that you have to discuss with the leadership in your company and say, hey, is this something that you guys are comfortable with when those type of situations arise, where we do have one of your customers that is not happy with their real estate experience? Can I mention about me being a real estate agent? And
Well,
that's gonna be really,
it's my family business, so they're okay with it. I just
oh,
where, where I lied. I don't know if I can do that. If
you
there's-
can't. You can't. I mean, you cannot go say, well, you know what, I'm better, right? But like what you may want to, you know, ask is go a little bit deeper and say, hey, you know, what are your concerns about your agent? You know, what is happening, right? You got to be very careful there, right? Because if she's you know, under contract with that agent, right, we got to worry about our ethics.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't want to be violating those ethics, right? So you don't want to be telling her, you know, well, you know what, your agent sucks. Choose me. No, we don't want to go there, right? But find out what is going on. Find out what is going on.
Okay.
Okay. Why is she not happy with her agent? Okay. So yeah. So that's that, guys. Again, what you guys going through right now, a lot of other agents are going through. A lot of other agents are going through. And we all have a choice. We can either swim or we can sink, right? And I know you guys all chose to swim and you guys are doing phenomenally well, but I know there's more. There are more buyers out there. We got to work with more buyers out there. How do we get in front of buyers? We got to contact them. We got to reach out to them. We got to have conversations with them. We got to provide value to them, right? The more buyers you have, the more opportunities you're going to get, the deals. And don't forget about the sellers, by the way. Don't forget the sellers. Don't forget the sellers. For sale by owners are a great resource. Some of the buyers are also going to be sellers. Like in Susan's case, she's got an investor who's a buyer and then he's a seller as well. Kelly, she's got a couple of listings right now under contract, right? So don't forget about the sellers.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to what you were saying earlier, Alan. You know, that right now it's not a problem of finding buyers, it's a problem of finding homes, you know, that it's going to fit our buyers. Another way we can help them find something is obviously find listings before they hit the market. You know, there's two sides of that coin. You know, if we find a listing, boom, we can secure something for a buyer. Best case scenario, obviously, double whammy there. Or, you know, you get a listing either way, you're going to get a buyer eventually anyways. You know, so there's always two sides to that coin.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, getting a listing is number one priority. Like you know, we got to get listings, right? And then we got to be creating and getting those listings. Right now, honestly, the way the market is, and I hate to say this, but if your seller's saying, like, I want to list at $30,000-$40,000 above the asking price or above what the comps are, list it.
Do we have signs for, I know coming soon, we can't do it a day before, but signs that I can put in the properties that says under renovation and my name on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we check. So next time when you're having this listing, well, here's the challenge with that, right? So if you just put a for sale sign, that means the next day it's got to go live on MLS.
Well, because I'm going to have pretty soon two coming out, so that's what, you know, I want to sell it in a day.
But it can be coming soon for 30 days on MLS before you go live and active.
Yeah. You can put it on MLS under the coming soon, but as far as the sign goes, it's usually a day before.
But we can do a sign that says under renovation. That will be fine.
Yeah, as long as it's not affiliated with our brokerage.
Okay.
It doesn't have your name on it.
Okay.
It doesn't have your name on it.
Oh, okay, because I've seen some brokerage that they do under renovation and it has the listing agent number and name.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Alan, what if I put a cutout board of myself in the suit going like this with no brokerage name or number?
I think you're gonna attract a lot of birds, man. You're gonna attract a lot of birds. I think that's a great question for David.
Okay.
Let's all call David right now. Just kidding. But it's a great question for David, right? It's just kind of find out, hey, what can we do? If it's not a brokerage name, can we have our, maybe do like one of those signs, like a bandit signs, right? With agent's information there, right? My understanding is you cannot involve the agent in that process. Like agent information or phone number. That's my understanding, but maybe I'm wrong. That's MLS.
Okay.
I guess my question is, why do you want to sell it in one day?
Oh,
Like, I don't want to sell my listings in one day because I want to like hold like multiple open houses and get some business out of it.
I know, yes, but my investor is like, Susan, I want you to sell it in a day.
You will sell it in a day.
And I told him, yes, I want, and I told him, I want to get the best deal for you. So, if that means waiting a few days so we can get a better offer for you, let's do that. So he's like, okay. So this is the thing. The previous realtor where he was working with, he said, oh, he used to do this for me. He used to do that for me. And I said, well, I want to get you the best offer. So.
Well, not only that, I mean, he used to, when the laws were different, the laws have changed, right? Last May, the laws have changed. Before that, I used to, like in my farm in Arrowhead Lakes and Arrowhead Ranch, I used to put a sign 30 days before the listing would go live. And I get like, I don't know, like 5, 10, 15, 20 phone calls out of it and get like a 1 or 2 good lead out of it. Now I can't do that.
And that's what I told him too, but yeah, I share that with him too.
Yeah.
Have you tried doing like a certain time to go over offers? I know that's a really popular thing right now for a lot of listing agents. If I show a property on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they'll say, hey, agents, if you're going to submit an offer, give us until Saturday, Sunday, even Monday, at this time to respond. So I mean, I'm telling that to any listing appointments I go on. I'm like, hey, look, if you want to maximize offers, right now anyone can sell your house in a day. That used to mean something a few months ago, but the market's so crazy, anyone can sell it in a day. Right. You want to maximize your offer, you want to maximize what you can actually bring to the table, take advantage of this market. Let's put it on the MLS and let's reserve showings or whatever until the weekend and give them the whole weekend to submit their offers. We'll review it, on Sunday, on Monday, and then just pick the best one. Now, are we still allowed to do that, Alan? Because I'm seeing that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I did it with my listing at 55th Drive.
Right.
So we started.
I did it with mine.
We started showing it on Wednesday. By Friday, we had like about 7 or 8 offers, and I presented all of those offers on Sunday. Now, again, I fully disclosed to all of the buyers agents. I said, look, this is what my sellers want to do. They want to review all the offers on Sunday. We're going to get back to you on Sunday, right? So you can do that. I know there's some agents, what they do is they actually like hold an open house / all showings on Saturday and Sunday. They do an open house. It's open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. in those 2 days. That's the only time they're allowing any showings. So not only they're getting showing activity, but they're also getting, leads, possible, buyers are going to be in the area driving around. So that's another way of doing it. I'm a big fan of that, Susan. So like if you got a listing coming up, I would just hold it open for 2 days, get another agent involved, maybe having 2 agents, okay, and generate some business out of it like that.
Okay.
Like the whole point of the listings is leverage.
Right.
Leverage, right? The reason we're doing listings is because we want to leverage, right? We want to get some business out of it.
Yeah.
Through open houses, through door knocking, through maybe digital media ads, whatever it is. Another way, Susan, you can try our group page, become best agent.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes. Okay.
Okay, like David, I think yesterday he did it. He posted something that coming up, I think in a week or so, or 2 weeks, an Indian school in 19th Avenue for $350.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one really close to downtown Phoenix, 7th Avenue and Indiana School.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it also will help out some of the agents out there, right, that are looking to do open houses. Like Faye, for example, yesterday, I don't know if Faye, if she was able to find anything in terms of open houses. She was looking for an open house to hold this weekend. I know Ricardo wanted to do some open houses as well. So partner up. I mean, two of you can go and do an open house on 7th Avenue. You're going to get some business out of it.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. Anything else before we wrap this up?
Yes. I just dropped a document in Slack. And I had this, it's like, oh, I didn't edit it completely. But I just changed the logo. But it's buyer client instructions. So like number 1, it says, with your custom automated search, if you see any property you want, or if you see any property you want to see, it's extremely important to email, text, or call me ASAP to set up a showing, as homes can move fast, or AKA go under contract. So we want you to view these homes as soon as possible. Number 2, if you see an open house on a home that you want to view, call me, email me, text me ASAP, and I can set up a showing for you on the property. In the event that you decide to view the property without me there, which is 100% okay, make sure immediately inform the real estate agent that you are working with me as your realtor. This will also keep them from pressuring you. Number 3, if you see a for sale by owner listing that you're interested in, make sure to call, email, text me right away, and I can set up a showing. Most for sale by owners will work with a realtor that has a buyer and pay the commission. Number 4, in the event you want to look at or see new builds, which I can absolutely show you and represent you on, it's absolutely critical that you make sure to notify me ASAP, and we can set up a time to view the new build development as well as any others you have interest in. Do not go to the sales center or models and view without me. They have a very firm policy where if you step foot on their location without your realtor being present, that you 100% void the right of representation. So just something to give out like in your buyer consultation, but edit my other team that I had under, put like best homes buyer consult client instructions.
Love it. Awesome. Yeah, I mean that again, that can be part of your buyer consult. That can be part of, well, you just sending, part of your buyer guide, right? I mean, and then just reiterating that every time you have a conversation with them, it's like, hey, like, don't forget, I can help you with the for sale by owners. I can help you with the new home builds, right? So
yeah, and you don't have to go into that many words. You can just say, hey, I can help you with all these here. Just there's some rules, so you check those out later. Just easy to just say what you want to say and make sure that they're gonna remember that. It's good to kind of just have in writing. I think it's nice to make sure that they're represented.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Angela. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Make sure you edit the top.
Oh, you edit. All right, cool. Anything else, guys? Okay. Well,
I just wanted to tell Sam that when I was working my second job and teaching classes of like CPR, first aid, and all the classes I used to teach, I always made a mention of it in class. My boss was like, well, we don't want you marketing yourself here. But I always said, oh, and by the way, I'm a real estate agent if you have any questions or you need any help in that area. And I got one client out of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, awesome, very good. Well, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate your participation as always. Well, let's have a wonderful weekend. Kelly, enjoy going and shooting. Susan, enjoy dancing, on the streets of Mesa in a beautiful dress. All right, guys, have a wonderful time, and we will see each other on Monday. So make sure you guys study up on that PowerPoint slides, okay?
Yeah, study up and let's make some calls this weekend.
Oh yeah, don't forget about the calls. Hey, you guys gotta send us your tracking numbers. Come on, guys.
Yeah. These are the best days to call, today and the next 2 days. This is it.
Amen. All right, guys, take care.